What's going on, Dub Nation? You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Tyler Smith, and I'm recording this right after the Warriors got a 119-101 win over the Charlotte Hornets. But that's not what we're going to start today's video on. We'll recap the game later, but first, I got to bring you guys a major report about the return of Jonathan Kuminga to the Warriors lineup. Remember, he suffered an ankle sprain, a bad one, back in the beginning of January, and has missed now over 2 months, and will likely miss over 2 full months of Warriors basketball, but the return is on the horizon. This coming in from Anthony Slater before the Charlotte game, kind of giving an injury report about Jimmy Butler being probable. Remember, he had back spasms, missed Saturday's game against Philly where Golden State lost. He said Jonathan Kuminga remains out. He was icing his right ankle in the locker room postgame after Philly. Warriors still haven't cleared him after a handful of recent workouts. This has been a tough recovery process, a rehab process for Kuminga. And I bring this tweet up because there was definite optimism about a Kuminga return for this game Monday against the Hornets. Like Slater said before the weekend that they were kind of looking at this Monday game against Charlotte as a possible return for Kuminga, and I thought it would have been a good spot to do so against one of the bad teams in the Eastern Conference, a team that's looking to, be closer to the first pick in the lottery than, inching their way to the play-in. So, I expected Golden State to be in a good spot as far as getting Kuminga back for this game. But unfortunately, they held him out. They're still, waiting on this rehab process and the final go-ahead from Warriors medical guru Rick Celebrini. But a return is on the horizon, and we have a possible date. NBA insiders are speculating that Kuminga will return later this week. We'll talk about that exact game and date in just a moment. But with March starting here, I decided it would be a fun idea to take the top 4 channels here at Chat Sports on the NBA circuit and do a little March Madness sub-battle here. Warriors today, the Lakers report, Knicks now, and Celtics today. So if you guys want to stake your claim as the #1 fan base of NBA teams here at Chat Sports, go down below and hit that subscribe button right now. We upload daily Golden State Warriors videos, go live for all the Golden State Warriors games, and bring you so much Warriors content on YouTube that only the sickos are going to love it. So go down below and hit that subscribe button if you're a diehard Golden State Warriors fan. This comes in from Charania. This is the report that we heard back in the Philly game on Saturday. Before, I believe, or maybe it was right after. Whatever, it does not matter. It was on Saturday night. He said, I'm told the Warriors are considering waiting until next weekend when they're back at home for Kuminga's return. Now, that's a little specific, but also a little vague at the same time. Shams, could you be a little more specific? He couldn't. But another NBA insider from ClutchPoints, Brett Siegal, said this. He said, all signs point towards Kuminga suiting up and taking the court on Saturday, against the Detroit Pistons after the team's current 5-game East Coast road trip. And this is, interesting, right? Because we know this has been a really bad sprain for Kuminga. And for a guy who relies a lot on his athleticism to be springing off of those ankles, you don't want to give him a super high risk of re-injury. So it's cool that they're keeping them out, but they're going to need them back for this last regular season stretch where they're playing some of the best teams in the Western Conference. I mean, they're going to miss them tonight against the New York Knicks. So that's a game I would like to have Kuminga back for, but it's unfortunate. I do want Kuminga, though, to be back at 110% as he is somebody who relies a lot on the athleticism, a lot of jumping, and a lot of landing on those ankles. We do not want any more re-aggravations or re-injuries for Kuminga to miss potentially games down the line and couldn't into the postseason perhaps. But I cannot wait to see the full-strength Golden State Warriors here. We have yet to see Jonathan Kuminga and Jimmy Butler play on the floor together as Golden State Warriors teammates. We just haven't seen it yet. It's unfortunate, but that's the sad reality of it all, that he has not been healthy yet in Jimmy Butler's tenure. I understand that, you have to hold him out, all this stuff, but I'm chomping at the bit for Kuminga to get back in the lineup. And I'm also chomping at the bit for him to get back in the lineup so he can lead the second unit. He can be in bench lineups and go to work and be the focal point of the offense and get handed the keys. Because when that bench is on the floor, and yes, they were a little bit better against Charlotte today, but Saturday against the 76ers, this is not possible. This is something that you're not supposed to have. Steph Curry minutes, you're a plus 12. Warriors without Steph, a minus 19, and you lose the game by 7. You just can't have it. And you know what? When you're getting a guy back like Jonathan Kuminga, that's a huge, huge scoring punch. He was the Warriors' second leading scorer before this Jimmy Butler trade was made. And the 10 games before he got hurt was the best basketball of Kuminga's career. I expect him to come back and No, not necessarily assert himself as a 20-point per game scorer guy again, but to be able to take good shots and take open shots and get easy looks at the rim and be somebody who's available. And my message to Kuminga is this. Don't force anything. This is also Steve Kerr's message to him as well. Don't force anything. Play within the flow. Play within the flow of the game and let the game come to you in a sense. Let Jimmy Butler throw your lobs. Let Steph throw your lobs. Let you cut in from the dunker spot and get easy looks at the rim. How about when you curl off a screen and get the dribble handoff and go downhill? Like, let those opportunities come to you. Don't try to pound the rock and dribble around and get in no man's land for a bunch of time, because it's not really going to work out in your favor, in my opinion. So don't force anything. When you come back, I'm sure he's not going to be on a huge minutes load to start, probably playing anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. But don't force anything. It's okay. We will be okay. The Golden State is 8-2 in the Jimmy Butler era so far that has not yet featured Kuminga. Ease yourself back in. Play within the flow. Get the easy looks. Or if you're excited for Jonathan Kuminga's return, go down below and hit that thumbs up icon. Like today's video. Smash that like button, because I'm very, very excited for Kuminga to return and bring this Golden State Warriors team back to full strength. What's interesting to me when Kuminga returns back is the actual on-court fix. Remember I just said he's going to lead the second unit. He's going to be that focal point of the offense when Steph, Jimmy, Draymond might all be off the floor. But Steve Kerr. He's going to run wild lineups. I'm going to be very interested to see the on-court fit between Jimmy and Kuminga. Not a lot of spacing out there. Jimmy hit a three against Charlotte, but he has not been an efficient jump shooter whatsoever in his Warriors tenure so far. Kuminga has never been the most efficient jump shooter in the world, especially on a high volume. So I'm very interested to see the fit on the court with them together, especially with Jimmy playing on the low block sometimes and playing in that dunker spot kind of role. It clashes a little bit, but I do believe in Jimmy Butler's ability to make winning plays and not screw things up a ton and turn the ball over and all that good stuff. Like, he is going to be in a good spot. Jimmy Butler is one of the players in Golden State. Like, even though he's not being super aggressive right now, he's not exactly a player that I worry about all too much. Like, I get it. I understand that Butler isn't going to be uber aggressive in a game against the Charlotte Hornets on March 3rd, but at the end of the day, he is going to need to take over in these ball games. Like, playoff Jimmy is going to have to rise up for this Golden State team. I do trust him, though, heavily to make that happen down the line. I mean, 7 shot attempts, that's not going to fly for me. I know he had 6 free throws, but, like, let's get that closer to 10, and let's get the shot attempts closer to 10, probably past it as well. You're supposed to be Steph's co-star. You're supposed to be a guy who can go get a bucket any day of the week. Now, he hit a nice 3-ball. He hit a nice couple shots off of the bounce in the mid-range. I believe in Jimmy, but we are going to need to see more eventually. And hopefully, when Kuminga's back out on the floor, he can kind of play more of that role. Kuminga can go back to being that athlete down low. Next up, we're going to talk about the Golden State Warriors and Charlotte Hornets game. It was such a drag. It was honestly such a drag. 57 free throws across the board. Absolute disgrace. But first, I got to give a major shout out to today's sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports platform because it's daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. All you guys got to do is pick a lineup and pick a sport. Pick any sport. Combine the sports. Basketball, hockey, esports, darts, bowling, golf. Does not matter. And just pick more or less. You can win up to 1,000 times your money. And they're always trying to hook you guys up with incredible deals. Like a free $50 in your account when you sign up using our promo code CLNS and place your first $5 entry. Now, if you guys want to see an example of one of those entries, because you might be asking me, is it that difficult? No! You just pick more or less. And you look at a winning lineup that I had in the Golden State and Charlotte game. Brandon Podziemski, more than 19 points and rebounds cash. More than 4.5 free throws made for Jimmy Butler cash. And more than 22.5 points for LaMelo Ball cash. You can tell my picks, you can fade my picks. Make sure you go and do it at Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use our promo code CLNS for $50 instantly when you place your first $5 entry. You don't even need to win to receive the $50. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. All that information will be clickable down in the comment section and description of today's video. 119-101, and it was a lot closer than this score suggests for a long portion of this game. And I'm not saying that, it was a back-and-forth battle and Golden State was going down and going back up and making runs here and there. No, it was kind of just held at arm's length most of the time. Golden State was up 7-9 to 11 for most of the game. But, man, the fouls were just dragging this one on, man. I couldn't stand what I was watching. It really made me feel like, wow, there really is a reason why people don't watch NBA basketball these days, man, because it's unwatchable in a lot of scenarios. Like, I honestly think that, in this ball game, this could have been a half hour shorter. Like, Charlotte had 24 free throws made on 33 attempts. This game could have been a half hour shorter. It was unbelievable, and I honestly was just disgusted by it all, quite frankly. But you know what? We do got to give some praise to some guys out there for Golden State. Obviously, starting with our glorious Sweet King, Mr. Wardell, Stephen Curry. 21 points, 10 assists, had 12 assists out against Philly. So really trying to get these teammates involved and trying to get them ramped up for playoff-level basketball as we sprint to the end of the regular season. Golden State's 33-28 right now. Sole possession of the 6th seed in the Western Conference. And it's all because of this man right here. Putting the team on his back, hitting big shots, keeping the other teams at bay. What else is there really to say about Steph? Because the guy just knows how to win, and the guy knows how to hit big shots. Brzezinski, though, very, very interesting game from him. I know, this doesn't look the greatest. His efficiencies don't look the greatest. But Pod suffered an injury in this game. But he was able to come back. He had a little bit of a stumbling floater in the lane. You know, he likes to be very patient, trying to get a defender up in the air quick, like timing him up. Well, he tried to slow play it again, and he kind of stepped wrong on the floater. Was, limping a lot, went to the locker room, but ended up coming back and hitting big-time shots. See, he hit 4 threes. I believe all 4 of those came after he came back from the locker room in that injury. 11 boards. Are you serious? Like, this guy's awesome. Like, he's really, really elevated his game. I know maybe not from the field goal percentage department, the efficiencies, but he has really elevated his game. As a ball handler, as a decision maker, as a defender. I love what I've seen from Pods, and I can't wait to see more from him. Draymond got teed up in this game, and a flagrant called on the same in the same action. But he was great too. Defending shots at the rim, grabbing rebounds, being active. 7 assists for him as well. Nearly a triple-double for Draymond. 16 points as well. I mean, that's nearly a season high for the guy. He's been great. Hit a big dagger 3 to kind of end this ball game. Golden State goes up 15 with like 2 minutes to go. You take the good, you take the bad when it comes to Draymond Green. He was really, really good tonight. You know who else is really good? I hate to admit it. He was really good. Buddy Hield was really good. Shot the lights out. Shot the lights out. You guys know how I feel about Buddy Hield. I don't think he's that good. But when he's hitting shots at this clip, yeah, he's really good. There was crazy closeouts coming out on him, and he still was having better offense than the defense that was being played on him. I'll give Buddy his flowers. He was really, really good tonight. Moses Moody, not so good. Been a couple of slow games for Moses Moody over the past 5 or so. Hopefully he gets better when Kuminga gets back in the lineup and this team's at full strength and he can kind of be more comfortable where he's at. GP2 was awesome. He also did get injured and did not return to the game. We will get an injury update on GP2 as soon as we possibly can, but he got hit in the face. LaMelo, barreled into him, and GP2 went down, was face down on the floor for quite a while, ended up going to the locker room, not returning back to the bench, and they ended up changing the foul. They called it an offensive foul originally. LaMelo literally headbutts him into a layup, and they changed the foul and put it on GP2. Actually disgusting. The officials were truly, truly something else in this ball game. But that's probably my main takeaway from it all. The officials were trash. It was both sides, too. I was getting mad when Golden State was drawing fouls, too. Down the stretch, wrap it up, dude. You guys don't get paid hourly. Go home. It's all good. What's your number one takeaway from this ball game? Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. I just thought it was a total ref show, personally. Kevon Looney was actually really, really good, too. Defended shots at the rim, got offensive rebounds, got some putbacks, got some dimes. Looney was good in the minutes that he got, about 12, 15 minutes in this ball game. QP, I really didn't think we saw enough of Quentin Post, at least on the offensive end. Another super efficient night from long range, 2 of 3 from deep. QP 4-3. He was very good. Not many complaints about him. Not too many complaints about Guy Santos either. I know a couple of donuts up there, but I'm not complaining all too much. About Guy's performance. Didn't really. Nothing stuck out, but he plays solid defense, and that's all I can ask for him. Not going to ask him to be a 20-point per game scorer for Golden State by any means. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, though. Lock Us In is your #1 spot for Golden State Warriors videos and watch parties every single day. We'll be live for the next game later. So lock us in. Hit that big red sub button. We'll see you guys later. Let's go Dubs.